Hi everyone. Over at the subreddit named buyfromeu, I've heard a lot of people that they want to change from Microsoft Windows or from Apple to Linux, but they don't know where to start. So let me show you how to get up and running with Linux in no time. It's super easy. First of all, we search for Linux Mint. And after we've searched for Linux Mint, we just go on the website. It's linuxmint.com. Then we click the download button, and then the first hurdle most people face is, why are there 3 different things to download? That's not important right now. Just go for Cinnamon Edition and scroll down, and we see the mirrors. That's like, just choose a country where you're in or that's close to you, so your download speed is fast. So that's the only thing you can do here. Let's go for Germany, and now we wait for the download to finish. While the download is going on, I can show you what's the difference between those editions. You see in Linux there is the Linux operating system, and there is the front end for it, so what you see and interact as a user, and there are different things you can choose. They all do basically the same thing. There are more nerdier ones that do like a lot of keyboard interaction stuff, and there are the standard ones that look like Windows or macOS, and Cinnamon is the one that looks the most Linuxy in my opinion. So Cinnamon is like slick, clean, looks good. Look at that, that's a beautiful desktop environment. You can't go wrong with that. Yep, and now we wait for the download to finish. Now that we have downloaded the ISO file, we can put it on a USB drive like that one. We just plug this one in. And after we've plugged it in, we can download a program called Etcher. It's balenaetcher.io. We can download it. If you are on Windows, you choose Windows, macOS, or whatever. I'm on Linux, so I'm going to download it for now. So after you've started Balena Etcher, it should look something like this. We can just click on Flash from File. Then we choose our download, which is our Linux Mint download that we did, the ISO file. Then we select a target. Balena Etcher only shows USB drives by default, so you can't really destroy much of your current system. So just go for the one you see here. You can look at the size and make an educated guess if it's the correct device or not, if you're not sure. But you lose all data that's on that drive, so make sure you don't have anything important on it. So we click it and we select one, and then we click Flash. Then it depends on your operating system if you have to put in a password or not. But then you see we have to wait. It takes a bit of time, especially for my device, because it's an ultra slow USB device. And now we can wait for it to flash. Afterwards we can boot from it, and then we are ready to install Linux. So see you then. So after you've downloaded the ISO file and you've put it on the USB drive and you restarted your PC, you should be greeted with this screen if, and only if, sadly, your PC boots from USB drive first. If it does not, you can try out different key combinations when starting your PC. On my machine, it's the deletion key. I have to spam the deletion key when booting, and then I can choose which part of my machine should be booted. So it's the USB device. So you have to, there's a list and you have to choose the USB device. On some machines it's the F2 key, sometimes it's the F10 key, sometimes F12. So search the internet for the key combination that fits for your machine. But after you find it, you should be greeted with this screen. And then you just ignore every entry except the first, where you click Start Linux Mint. And then that's the hardest part. The hardest part is to boot from the USB device. After that, it's easy. Now it's breezing through. You see, we're starting Linux Mint. and we have to wait. I'm doing this on a virtual machine, so it's a bit slow. On your machine, it should be super fast, or at least fluent, very fluent. And maybe not this resolution. You should be full HD on your machine. Yep, and then you're greeted with the Linux Mint desktop. You can do whatever you want. We can look at, press the Windows key to open the start menu. You see, it's like, it behaves exactly like Windows if you are used to Windows. But what we want to do now, we are now using the system from the USB device, but we want to put it on the machine. So we have to install Linux Mint, and then we just have to click a few times on the continue key. Let's wait for the installer to fire up. You see, we choose the language of our choice. I'm going with English. Then we have the keyboard layout. I'm going with German because otherwise I can't type anything, because I don't know where the special characters are on other layouts. Then we install the multimedia codecs just to be able to run different video formats or stuff. Just install it. And then we want to erase disk and install Linux Mint. Please back up your data, it's important and it's not hard. I can make a video about data backup if you want, but just back up your data so nothing can go wrong. So even if everything burns down, you can rebuild from your backups. Yep, and you don't want advanced, or you could want advanced features, but they are not important. So LVM or encryption, you don't need this to just use Linux. If you want it, you can click on it, but you don't need it to run. Then you click install now. Then you get a list of the changes that will be made. So you see we will format a disk and put ext4, and you don't need to know what that means. Then we click continue, and now the installation process happens, and we can set up some stuff in parallel, like the time zone stuff. We are in Germany. Your name, my name. Then you can give your computer a name like main machine or stuff. A username, my name. Choose a password, ABC. Then you can decide if you want to log in automatically on each boot, or if you want to have your password to put in, or you can encrypt your home folder, which is like on Windows, it's the documents folder and stuff. If you want to encrypt it, you can click there. If you don't want to encrypt it, you don't need to, and go for it. And now you see the install bar is running. We have to wait. And in the meantime, while this is running, I can show you what's pre-installed on Linux Mint. So you see the Firefox web browser here. You can click on it. Like I said, it's a bit slow now because it's running from the USB device and not from the hard drive from the machine itself. So it's a bit slow, but you can see there's a working Firefox. You get like the Office suite. It's LibreOffice. It's a full working Office suite. So if you need Excel or Word or PowerPoint, everything is pre-installed, just not with the Microsoft branding. There are tips. We are running 24. Blah blah blah. Just ignore this message. And the fun part is you can save those files as the Excel format. So you are basically more free to do what you want. So you can save as Excel, but you don't need to. You can save as other stuff as well. So it's quite nice, actually. You can play around. You see there's Netflix and stuff. So the most important thing, people are afraid of the terminal, like this thing. People are afraid of it. But you don't need the thing. You don't need a terminal at all. If you want to install software, you just go here and go in software and go to the software manager, and then you can install whatever you want. We won't install stuff now because that would be installed on the USB device, and that's not persistent. We have now, if you want Discord, just click on Discord. Disappeared now because it updated. Discord. If you want Discord, you click here and click on install. And then you have the Discord. Or if you want Steam, you click on Steam. Bam. Click on install. You have Steam. It's super easy. There is basically nothing you can not install. Except there are a few things. Most noteworthy is the Adobe suite. The Adobe suite won't run on the Linux system, so Photoshop and stuff. But there are alternatives like GIMP or GIMP, whatever you want to call it. It's not as powerful as Photoshop, but it's good enough for most use cases. Then there's Krita, the tool of my choice, which is a drawing program. Then for videos there is OpenShot, I think it's called. Yep, there's OpenShot or KDN Live. Those are all editors for videos. Then there's Blender for 3D modeling. So most of the apps work on Linux, and most of them that don't work have alternatives that are not worse. So let's look back at our installation process. Oh, we're halfway done. I will come back to you guys later when the process is finished. After the installation finished, we get a pop-up that's prompting us to continue testing or to restart now. We just click restart now because we don't have anything to do on the live system anymore. Click. And then we get a very nice Linux Mint logo that tells us please remove installation medium, then press enter. We will do this. Bloop. And that's like only what you've seen is a side effect that I'm running it in the virtual machine. You will not see anything like this. And now you are on your system. It automatically boots in it, and you can put your password in here. And now we are on our system. Now that we've installed Linux, we just have to set up the system so we can use it in a productive way. If you are not a gamer, you are already done. You can play around, surf the web, use Office Suite, you can do whatever you want. But if you are a gamer, you need a bit more setup because you want Steam installed, probably, and you want a graphics driver. To install a graphics driver, we just close this here. We go to the system settings, like here, and then we scroll down to the driver manager. And then you wait. It looks for drivers. The problem is now I'm on a virtual machine and I don't have a graphics card in the machine. So there is no driver needed because it installed everything by default. If you are using an NVIDIA or an AMD card, you just go here and you will see, oh, there's an NVIDIA driver here. You can just install it and then you reboot and it's done. You have to make sure you are using the proprietary NVIDIA driver if you want to play games, because the non-proprietary driver is not as good as the NVIDIA driver. So just use the NVIDIA driver. If you're on AMD, there's nothing to choose from. You just use the AMD driver and you're good to go. Now you're ready to go. You can do whatever you want. You can play games via Steam. If you want to play via Steam, you just go to the software manager, and you type in Steam and you install Steam. Or if you want to play games from Heroic Games or from Good Old Games, you can go via the Heroic Launcher, it's called. Heroic Games Launcher, it's a combination of the Epic Game Store, the good old Game Store, and Amazon Prime. So if you want to play games via those things and manage them, you can use the Heroic Games launcher. If you want to show me how to set up those things, ask me in the comments. I'm happy to help out. Otherwise, you're good to go. You can now run all your stuff on Linux. There's nothing that holds you back anymore. And most important, you have never touched the terminal a single time, and you got a running system, so you don't need a terminal. If you want to use the terminal, go for it. You don't need to use it to do the standard stuff you do on Windows and Mac OS. Yeah, that's it. You are now ready to go. I hope this video helped you. If not, give me a comment and tell me what to do better. If it helped you, let me know. If you have not seen the video, don't do anything because you can't. That was a little joke at the end. So have a good one. Bye bye.